All right, and we are live. Welcome, family, to another show. It is your man BMT Travels in the building, and we got a great show for you guys today. I want to give a shout out to everybody that's in the room early. Uh, Shout out to Bandana Travels here. That salute. Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you tapping in. And we got Jermaine, that Guillory says, greetings, Passport Bros. Yes, that's right. Welcome, Passport Bros. Speaking of Passport Bros, guys, we are growing and growing. All right. Despite all the controversy, we're growing a lot. All right. I want to show you guys where we at now. As you can see on this picture, maybe about 3 months ago, we was at 6,200 members in the private Facebook group. Now we are at, let's move this out the way real quick. We are at 15,300 members in the private Facebook group, guys. So if you haven't already joined, go ahead and join the private Facebook group, Passport Bros. I think we're going to be reaching close, tapping that maybe 20K in the next couple of months. A lot of good information in there. A lot of people post their travel reports and, their experiences overseas. So if you haven't already tapped into the Passport Bros Facebook group, make sure to tap in, man. Make sure to join. All right. Passport Bros is growing. Like I say, despite all the controversy of men traveling the world, leaving the West for, opportunity, business options, leveraging the American dollar and dating. But as you can see, it continues to grow. All right. So, guys, once again, we got like a real good show today. The title of the show, Are You Ready for the Global Dating Market? It's 2023. Things have changed. The internet technology has changed everything. Even low ticket prices, people figuring out a way to, travel, find places. Airbnb has made it a whole lot easier to find places to live overseas or spend a good amount of time overseas without having to sign any contracts or lease. So now things are much, much different than they were a mere, let's say, decade ago, where you was kind of you had to date people in your general area. I remember 10 years ago when somebody was just 20 minutes away, that was too far, especially in Atlanta. If you live in Atlanta and if you was if you was in Southwest Atlanta somewhere, and somebody lived in the east side out there in, let's say Conyers or something, which is about 25, 30 minutes away, depending on the traffic, that relationship 9 times out of 10 wouldn't work out. All right. But now, because of online dating, because of the stress of dating in the West, you got guys that are actually dating women overseas now. Now this has been going on for quite a minute. Guys have been dating women from overseas, the whole 90-day fiance, the whole mail order bride. That's kind of like the narrative that they're trying to push. But that's just not necessarily the norm. The 90-day fiance, it's a funny show. It's a scripted show, in my opinion, with a lot of funny stories of people, dating overseas and trying to get married. And it's all types of scripted format, in my opinion. Anything that's on TV has to follow certain guidelines and a certain scripts. This is why when you watch television shows, and if you're an older guy, older person, you would definitely notice or peep this out, that some of the shows are like the same exact scripts, similar scripts to shows you had previously back in the day, right? Like you notice the same little script format. The person that's trying to give you an example, like if you watch the Wayans brothers and you see an episode, it's going to be similar to an episode on another show that's coming out recently, like the new Jamie Foxx show. The switching of the gender roles. The most common one, I know you guys have seen this, right, is when a couple is having problems in a relationship and they go see a psychiatrist, right? And then in the psychiatrist, they switch roles. How many times have you seen that? That's been on the Jamie Foxx show. That's been on the Martin show. That's been on the Wayans brothers. It's the same little scripted format over and over again. What you're seeing is something similar to what you see in the music industry, right? When you have a hit song that's out in the 70s and then somebody samples it and they reintroduce it to another generation, right? And it's a hit song again. I mean, Puffy made millions of dollars off that. A lot of artists made a lot of money off of that, but it's the same thing in television, right? Same thing. They sample things and stuff like that. So I say all to say that when you're watching something like a 90-day fiance, they're following a script. They know what already works because it worked in the past. So a lot of that narrative is really false. And once you start dating overseas, you'll see that most women don't even really want to come to the States as you would think. Some do. Don't get me wrong. You definitely got some women that want to come to the States. But for the most part, a lot of people are comfortable where they at. All right. The American media has scared a lot of foreigners on how, all the stuff and the violence in the news and the racism and the corrupt politics. So they comfortable kind of where they at, where they don't have to work as hard in their countries. Right. So I want to put that out there real quick. But We got a good show. We got a good show. And I'm going to also, not really expose, but I want to point out something real quick. So before we do that, I'm going to show this quick little commercial. All right, guys, because a lot of guys want the merch. And we're going to.
As you can see, I'm repping that BMT. No matter where I go, no matter where I be. Representing for my brother BMT.
Got my man Austin in the building. What up, bro?
What's good?
Travel is life.
This how we roll. Look, I just have to get off the elevator. Look at it. The BMT shirt on. You know, we representing all the way in Thailand, man.
This shirt is so dope, man. It shows off your guns, fits your muscles, gives you room at the bottom for the belly, and then you repping the BMT brand, man. So make sure y'all pick up that BMT shirt because it's fire. It looks good. He got them in different colors, and I'm telling y'all, man, the fit, it ain't that cheap bullshit. It's a real quality shirt, man. I love it, BMT. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for blessing me with the shirt, and I'll see you on the other side. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, go cop the new merch.
All right, guys. Make sure to go ahead and cop that merch. Link in the description. Everybody wants the shirts. The shirts are doing well, so make sure to check out the merch link. All right. But before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Zoom to Thailand and Andre from Love Crossing Borders. They're going to be doing a live that I'm going to tap into. I think 9 o'clock in about an hour. So it's going to be a short show. We're going to run for about maybe 45 minutes. And then I want you guys to head over there to Zoom to Thailand's live channel because it's going to be a really good show. Thailand versus Colombia. And I'm definitely going to tap into that and give my opinion on that as well. So make sure you tap into that at the end of this show. We got an early super chat here. I want to give a shout out to Kwame A. Michael with the $5 super chat. Man, I really appreciate that. He says, keep up the good work, bro. Thanks for helping men know their options. Most definitely, man. Most definitely. Which leads me, all right, which is going to lead me to dating in the global market, all right? Right now, you have certain content creators coming from the PUA market. And I did a show about this maybe a few months ago that are trying to take advantage of guys traveling overseas looking for dating options, basically, looking for love, looking for relationships, looking for traditional women. All right. Now, this guy right here, let me go ahead and post this up real quick. This guy right here, family, was on the Fresh and Fit podcast about a year ago. Hold on. I'll catch that super chat in a minute. And it said the title of the video, which has about, got about 71,000 views. So not a lot of views for Fresh and Fit, but the definitive guide to game in Colombia and why guys should go. Now, I want to highlight that word, game in Colombia, and also highlight the featured guest, Casey. I believe it's Casey Brown. All right, Casey Brown right here. Now, when I broke down this show, I was telling guys, hey, man, you do not need any form of a dating coach in Colombia. Women are pretty nice in Colombia and they're approachable. It's easy to get information if you ask for their Instagram or whatnot. Dating on Tinder can be a little treacherous, so you got to watch the hooking up on Tinder. You got to really make sure you validate if you're talking to someone on Tinder through their social media and seeing exactly what they do for a living, most definitely. But in general, women are pretty nice in Colombia. They're approachable. They even give you their number, but we'll flake on you a few times trying to get to know you, right? So here you got this guy. Now, a year later, let me pull up this article. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up this article. Where are we at here? Hold on. Here we go. All right. Now here we go. Same exact guy. All right. The title of the article is "The Worrying Tourist, quote unquote, tourist packages for foreigners with a harem of Colombians of up to $5,000." So this is the guy, same guy right here. It's actually him and another guy. It's another guy too. It's two of them. All right. The foreigners promise to teach about how to build a harem of women who know and accept the fact that you have other women. That's the title, or that's in quotations right there. All right. So this guy has recently gotten into some trouble. All right. It's pro taken from his website, the Casey Redbeard website. Same guy that was on Fresh and Fit, as you guys can see. All right. So it says several women through Twitter have denounced two men of foreign nationality for inviting free parties, quote unquote, free parties in apartments in the city of Medellin. They say that they guarantee the women who decide to attend food and transportation to the place, Patrick Red and Casey Brown, are identified as the alleged organizers of these celebrations. All right. So they're pretty much telling them that their clients are millionaires who pay very well and everything. It's kind of like I guess you want to say, a hookup party or something like that. But more than likely, these women are propagos, all right? And they're telling their clients that they're not, all right? They're trying to, finesse, basically, is trying to finesse. And they got caught up when some of the women in Colombia, they say several, exposed them basically for what they was doing. All right, so here you go. You got the PUA guys, one of the PUA guys. Now, you know how they like to throw all of us under the bus. They love to group all the passport bros together. All right. But we're not going to do all that. But these particular PUA coaches that are in Colombia have gotten some recent trouble. And I'm going to play a quick clip. Let me load this clip up real quick. I'm going to play a quick clip of a breakdown of what a guy in Colombia. And I met this guy a few times when I was out there in Colombia. Cool dude. He broke down the story pretty well. I'm going to play a little quick clip of what he had to say about this. Because this is serious, man. Like I say, when you go to these foreign countries, you got to know what you're doing. You got to know what you're doing, and you got to be careful. You're thinking that's like everything is like America, but it's not, man. It's different rules apply. You're a foreigner, and you just got to be mindful of some of the things that you do when you in concerns of, especially when you're making money with women involved. All right. So let me play this little part real quick for the fam, and let's see what this guy has to say about these two dating coaches down in Colombia.
And before I get to further in the story, things are not looking good for him, because right here it's written that the Secretary of Security of Medellin, Jose Gerardo Acevedo, has informed that there's a reward of up to 100 million pesos for whoever can give information of where these people are located, where they're located. I have the information. I know where they're located. I might even send a message and tell them. But
now that's about $20,000. That is a lot of money. So they really want to get these guys.
If they're offering 100 million pesos, that's the equivalent of around $21,000 US dollars for information. It's getting serious. It's getting serious. And also, the other thing I wanted to make comment on, when I was doing the research on this case, maybe a week ago or so, I went to Patrick Red's social media, right? And he had a whole lot more videos. And the majority of his videos were him showing the parties of the women, and all that kind of stuff, like the mansion parties, that kind of stuff. Those are all gone, and he only left up the videos of him feeding the poor, right? So that kind of tells me, okay, what's going on here? Are they trying to hide something, And then you go here to TikTok, and I went to their link tree. I'll just go straight to the link tree. So the link tree was here. I clicked on that, and it opens up this link tree, Coach Patrick Red. And when you go here to my YouTube channel, it opens up a video that I'm assuming was showing like the whole party life and showing the women, that kind of stuff. That's private. This video is private. And then right here, the immersion experience, you go into this, and the link doesn't work anymore. It's going to show real quick. Just my computer's kind of slow. It doesn't work no more. It's gone. There it is. This site can't be reached. So why are they hiding stuff? Why are they putting things in private? You know, I actually try to find out Casey Brown, and here's Casey Brown. Here's his website, Casey Barabaruva. That's the same picture. I'm assuming. Good look, that's him. I'm hoping it's the same guy. It looks exactly the same. And he made his last post 1 hour ago, 3 hours ago. He's in Sao Paulo, Brazil. So there you go. If the Secretary of Safety is watching, he's in Sao Paulo. You know. But Casey or Patrick, if you guys are watching, reach out to me. I want to get, if you want to tell your side and what's going on, and if you're totally innocent, let's hear it.
All right. So as you can see, one of the dating coaches pretty much left the country. Now, this hasn't been blasted all over social media or anything like that, but they want to reach out to these guys and find these guys pretty bad. That's a pretty hefty award. All right, so not really sure exactly. I mean, I guess they're accused of maybe promoting sexual tourism, but I just want you guys to see what's going on out there in Colombia with these quote unquote PUA coaches. That's two of them. And there's others that I've seen personally go around in Medellin talking to women in a certain way, in a certain tone or whatnot, in order to, I guess, encourage dudes to subscribe or do whatever they do to bring them into their sales funnel, right? Saying that, hey, man, dating in Colombia, you need this dating guru. I'm gonna hook you up with these girls and you're gonna find love and these traditional women. And as you can see, it was all BS at the end of the day. Guys, listen, if you want to invest any time or money in dating overseas, the best thing to do is to invest in learning the language, bro. All right. We got a guy, Kendall, who has a course. As a matter of fact, I would drop it in the description at the end of the show. He teaches Spanish. It's another guy in the group that teaches Spanish. If you are in the Passport Bros Facebook group, you can just reach out. There's plenty of guys that would teach you Spanish. Maybe take 6 months to a year, depending on, you know, how hard you go. But you'll be way better off learning the language and just getting your resources together. All you have to do in Colombia, I promise you guys, is be yourself. All right, be yourself. Befriend some Colombians. You know, Colombians are very friendly. The Paisa people in Medellin, they're very friendly people. Despite some of the crimes that happen, you know, you can reach out, talk to some people, meet some people, get around a certain circle, follow certain DJs. That's another good hint. Follow certain DJs. All right, DJs, very popular. One in Medellin is DJ J Brown. You know, he spends a couple of times out the week. You go to his to the club where he's spending at. You will meet a lot of women that speak some English. If they don't speak, if they speak English fully, and you will meet women that are interested in maybe dating a foreigner that is not about that life. All right, let me catch this super chat real quick and we'll get back to the show. I want to give a shout out to Sonny Robinson with a follow-out super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He says, bro, this is a powerful stream. Passport Bros on the global dating market. Yeah, man, things have definitely changed. And once again, appreciate that super chat. Things are different. It's 2023. You got to expand your options. Listen, there's no point on going on streams for 6, 7, 8 hours venting on why it's difficult dating in the West. What men do is we protest with our feet. We don't engage in going back and forth, all right? Because if a person already thinks a certain way, they're going to think that way. And it's not too much things you can say. You might can change their actions temporarily, but they're going to go to their base nature back again. Even if she's treating you nicely to kind of reel you in to get that ring, she's going to go right back to her natural ways, you know, once you marry her. So if you are paying for these PUA coaching sessions and all these dating coaching sessions, all right, to try to manipulate a woman to follow your program, it's better to go elsewhere. All right. You know, learn a different language, get your resources up together, move overseas, spend a lot of time overseas that you can, much time as you possibly can, because you got to spend time with them as well. And invest into the culture like that. All right, because these women have already been socially programmed by their families and their culture, not by you. All right. So let me catch the other super chat. But yeah, so they're looking for 2 guys right now. And these guys have pretty much, I'm pretty sure both of them left the country, but this guy is in Brazil right now. He vamped out to Sao Paulo, Brazil, once he felt the heat. All right. Once he felt the heat, he just dipped on out. All right. Shout out to Martel Prayer with the $10 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He says, new to your content, BMT. I'm headed to Thailand for 2 months starting in April. That's a pretty good time to come. What's your thoughts on Siem Reap, Cambodia? Oh, you want me to taste out the hidden gems, huh? As I'm going to do a little excursion there in Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia is dope. Cambodia is definitely much different than Thailand. All right, much different than Thailand. Some people like Cambodia, some people don't. The infrastructure in Cambodia it's nice, but it's developing. Let's put it to you that way. Whereas in Thailand, cities like Pattaya, and of course Bangkok is an international city, Chiang Mai, you got Phuket, they're just a little bit more established and up to date because they have a lot of more tourist money flowing through them. All right. Then let's just say Cambodia. Now, Siem Reap is very beautiful. You have Angkor Wat in Siem Reap, which I'll be visiting soon. Angkor Wat is one of the most, I believe, is one of the oldest. It's one of the oldest monuments. I don't want to call it a monument in the world. They filmed Tomb Raider, and I think they filmed another movie there as well. But they filmed Tomb Raider there, and it's very beautiful, man. A lot of people like to visit Siem Reap to kind of just see, the ancient culture of how they was building back then. It's very beautiful, man. So if you want to check out Siem Reap, make sure you check out Angkor Wat. All right, make sure you check out Angkor Wat. And they do use the U.S. dollar in Cambodia as well. Just to give you a heads up, they do use the U.S. dollar. I think what they say in Cambodia for the bigger purchases, use the American dollars, and for the smaller purchases, you can kind of use their money. This is their money right here. I have it right here. But it's the denominations, man. You'll have a rack like this much, and it might be like $20. So just keep that in mind when you go out there to Cambodia. Once again, appreciate the $10 super chat. All right. All right. Yeah, things are changing. All right, I got another question here real quick. All right. Jermaine says it's important to know the do's and don'ts in other countries. Yeah, man. It really is important. It really is important. But I'm going to play a little bit more of the video real quick just to give you guys a little bit more information on what happened to these particular dating coaches out there. And you see they're trying to finesse. Now, when they were on the Fresh and Fit show, I knew they were trying to finesse. All right. I lived in Colombia for about a year. I understand not all, but a good amount of the culture there as far as dating. When they were on the Fresh and Fit, I knew he was full of it because he didn't even mention the danger of online dating in Colombia. That's number one. All right. So that, to me, that was misinformation and dangerous misinformation, by not telling the guys on the Fresh and Fit show, hey, man, if you're going to date online, make sure you validate the person that you're talking to. Otherwise, you can get drugged, set up, robbed, and even killed. And we've seen this countless amount of times out there in Colombia. All right. So he didn't mention that, which was very dangerous. Now he has this little whole thing to where he's promoting, women that's going to link up with guys when they come out there, and come to find out that he was pretty much pimping both these guys. All right. And I'm pretty sure both of them have left Colombia because, like I said before, $21,000 is a lot of money. So they really want those guys. All right. They're in some steep heat. Let's put it to you that way. They are in some steep heat, bro. They really are. All right. Let me play a little bit more of the video. And once again, you guys can sub to Life with David. Shout out to him. I met him a couple of times in Medellin at one of the parties I was telling you guys about. When you follow certain DJs out there in Medellin, it's a whole lot safer, right? It's a whole lot safer because it's like more of a circle. DJ J Brown is really popular. DJ J Rash is popular out there. I know a few DJs out there. It's a couple. They escape my name right now. But I know a couple of DJs out there, and that's like that's a good bet because you're dating certain types of women with jobs and careers and even other women from other countries. You might even meet some American women there as well. All right. So that'd be your best bet. But shout out to Life with David, man, for this video.
But the thing is, with their business, what they were running, it reminds me. Actually, let me talk to you guys about the business. So they're running a business that was basically facilitating parties. Like they were putting together parties and getting as many beautiful women together, and then getting clients in the States and other countries, men who wanted to meet these beautiful women. They were basically making this connection. And I call that walking a thin line. You're walking a thin line on what's allowed and what's not allowed. Here in Colombia, prostitution is allowed. It's legal. It's legal. If someone wants to get into prostitution and make money with prostitution, they themselves can choose to do that with their own body. Totally legal. What's not illegal is the middleman, the guy or the girl. Women have been caught doing this too, the Colombians and foreigners. The middleman can't be in the middle facilitating it and getting a cut, right? They can't be, the middleman can't be finding the clients and then getting the person that wants to do prostitution and bring them together. That's 100% illegal here for above 18 people, and also especially underage people. Okay. So their whole business model was building these parties, and this is what they were doing. So they were telling the guys, let's see right here. Let's see. Let's see if I can find exactly what they're telling the guys. They were telling the guys that they were going to get these beautiful women that were not prostitutes. Like they're young, they're attractive, they're not prostitutes, they're not webcam, they're not OnlyFans. They don't have pink or blue hair. There's no tattoos, no piercing. They don't take drugs, and the majority are university students and girls with normal jobs. That's what they were promoting to their clients from other countries, and those clients were paying big money to meet these women, up to $5,000. They were having they were selling a package here. Here's a picture of the package that they were selling. So fine.
All right, so that's all I want to show real quick. Just kind of give you a rundown of what they was doing out there to get in trouble in Colombia. All right. Shout out to Martel Prayer once again with the $5 super chat, man. I really appreciate that. He says, really appreciate the info on Seam Reap. Keep doing your thing out here in these YouTube streets, my bro. Appreciate that. Appreciate that as well, bro. Yeah, Cambodia is cool. It's a hidden gem, man. I love Cambodia. All right. But if you're not here for like a long time, you're going to have there's so many things to do in Thailand, man. There's so many things to do in Thailand. But if you're here for like maybe 2 months, yeah, check out Cambodia, man. It's very different. I'll put it to you that way. It's very different. All right. All right. We got a member, AJ, with the $5 super chat, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate that $5 super chat, man. Appreciate the support. All right. Somebody says, what up, BMT? What remote jobs you can take with you overseas? You know what? I actually have a jobs list. I have like a jobs list. Hit me on the email, man. Just hit me on the email. All right, shout out to my dude Jay Clyde. All right, shout out to you, bro. He beat out there in Medellin a lot as well. Shout out to him. Shout out to Jay Clyde. Shout out to my dude Jay Clyde. Somebody said the hustle was real. Suckers were still falling for this stuff. Yeah, man. Even overseas, some of the PUA coaches kind of realized that they were losing some market share to the passport bros, so they decided to kind of try to engage in the same activities and talking points overseas, and they were trying to emerge a foreign dating market. But like you can see, it didn't come from me. This is guy, lives in Medellin. He just pretty much was telling you guys like, hey man, these dating coaches are pretty much fake. All right, they're fake dating gurus, just like they are in the States for the most part. Guys, trust me, man. Once again, if you get anything from this show, just learn Spanish or whatever, Portuguese or whatever language. You'll be so much better off. And make sure that, once again, you got to spend time with these women. Don't be that guy sending boatloads of money, paying rents and mortgages, thinking that you got something to yourself and you haven't been there in 3-4 months. All right. It just doesn't work like that. Just like men get lonely physically, women get lonely physically too. All right. But if you're comfortable with that, hey man, I can't tell you what to do with your dollars. All right, shout out to EKNL for the $7.77 super chat, man. Appreciate that. 777. Hey, I might pay that in the lotto today. Just keep spreading the good info. Appreciate that once again. Yeah. Somebody said about what happened to the woman in Colombia. Yeah, that was really unfortunate. That was definitely unfortunate, man. And you know what? The thing is, man, I'm not going to say foreigners have a bad reputation, but it's becoming that way. You know, it's becoming that way because anything a foreigner does that's illegal, man, like walking with women with leashes through Poblado, through Provenza. I want to say that might have been one of the guys who did that. These ones that got kicked out, that might have been one of the guys. It's just a bad look, bro. It is a bad look. Oh man, it just makes all of us look bad. Just foreigners in general. Anytime you do something wrong, especially in concerns with women, it will be on the top news. All right, it will be on the news. It will hit all the news sites and blogs the next day, basically. All right, PK Thunder Woe asks, how much do I charge for a consultation? I charge $75 for a consultation. I did one just yesterday. So let me know. You can hit me on the email. As a matter of fact, you can look at the link in the description and you can schedule a consultation. All right. He says, how much charge for consultation? All right. And I do consultations primarily on the Dominican Republic, Thailand, Brazil, and Colombia. I can give you a wealth of knowledge, information. I can hook you up with fixtures as well. You got a lot of guys that plan on moving overseas, and there is a learning curve. There's some things you really need to know before you make that transition, as far as health insurance, hospitals, doctors. You definitely want to get a lawyer on retainer, just in case, because you are a foreigner, and the rules that apply to the locals might not necessarily be the rules that apply to you, especially if you're going to be driving a vehicle. You definitely 100% want a lawyer then, because in a lot of cases overseas, if they hit you, you got to pay. All right. You got to pay. And they will take your passport until you make that payment. Same thing with the medical. If something happens, I had a friend of mine who he told me this story. He's good now, but he got in a motorcycle accident. It really wasn't his fault. Somebody walked into the street, and he had to pay damages, and he also had to pay for his health care as well. And he couldn't leave the country until that debt was paid. All right. So just keep that in mind, that things are very much different when you're overseas. You definitely want to have maybe a doctor on retainer, something like that. A lot of healthcare overseas is free. So if you hurt yourself, you're going to be in the hospital. It's color coded sometimes, like in Colombia, where if it's not an emergency, you'll be waiting in the hospital for a long, long time. All right. So if you need any information, make sure you check out or do a consultation with me. All right. All right. Shout out to CB Passport. He says, the day market here in the U.S. has changed nowadays. Yeah, most definitely, man. The way guys are winning overseas in different countries is the day market nowadays. Yeah. I mean, you just got to expand your options. I'm not saying that you cannot date American women. Do not get that from this show. All I'm saying is having more options for men just works out better. It works out better, man. You don't want to be, frustrated trying to date. Because when you're frustrated trying to date, then you do things like, don't want to pay the bill, or you know how it is, man. When you're already frustrated, you see a lot of these videos online of guys getting upset and, all this stuff, man. That's not how you want to date. All right. That's not how you want to date. Okay. So that was, I'm going to go ahead and sum up the show. I want you guys to get ready to head over. Like I said, it's going to be a quick show today. I want you guys to go ahead and head over to Zoom to Thailand. And it's going to be a real good, legendary show over there. They got Colombia versus Thailand. I'm going to tap in. I'm going to be on the show as well. So, guys, make sure to go ahead and tap on into that. Once again, I appreciate you joining me for the show. Peace. Go ahead and grab that merch.
can see, I'm repping that BMT. No matter where I go, no matter where I be.
Representing for my brother BMT.
Got my man Austin in the building. What up, bro?
What's good?
Travel is life.
This how we roll. Look, I just have to get off the elevator. Look at it. The BMT shirt on. You know, we representing all the way in Thailand, man.
This shirt is so dope, man. It shows off your guns, fits your muscles, gives you room at the bottom for the belly, and then you repping the BMT brand, man. So make sure y'all pick up that BMT shirt because it's fire. It looks good. He got them in different colors, and I'm telling y'all, man, the fit, it ain't that cheap bullshit. It's a real quality shirt, man. I love it, BMT. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for blessing me with the shirt, and I'll see you on the other side. You dig?